picture yourself sitting in the cafeteria eating your lunch with your friends. And then all of a sudden you see this person that you've been crushing on all year long comes and sits next to you. You really want to give a good first impression and show that you really like them. The only problem is that the conversation that you guys are having, you have zero interest in, but you still want to show that you're interested. So you're going to show with your body. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your body face towards that person, and you're going to be nodding a few times to show and indicate that you are following along, and maybe some eye contact there. All this is called body language. This kind of comes natural to us. And no one teaches us this. We just learn this throughout the years of getting older and older and kind of looking at other people and how they interact with one another. So we've just naturally picked this up on our own. I have always been interested in this topic, and not to burst my own bubble, but I am pretty good at reading people. So luckily I've had this opportunity to do some research on it. So that has been pretty exciting. And using body language is very useful, especially when you're in like a job interview. And when you want to be perceived a certain way, and especially to be liked. So you want to always kind of give those indicators of how to be liked. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the ones that we're going to be talking about today are just the 4. There's a lot more others, but I'm just going to be talking about 4 body cues. So the first one is going to be the eyes, and the second one is going to be proximity, how far away you are from someone. And then the third one is going to be head movements, and then the fourth one is going to be the limbs, so then the arms and the legs and what they indicate. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the eyes. So the eyes, if you see the eyes are looking off, when you're talking to someone, someone else's eyes are looking off, that's a big indicator that they've lost interest in the subject or lost interest in you, and they maybe want to get out of the conversation. Just showing a lot of boredom there. If you see that the person's eyes are looking down, that's a big indicator that they are feeling submissive, a little bit on the shyer end, not so much self-confidence. And then we also got blinking excessively. This can mean that they are stressed, like in a high stressful situation. For instance, I can give you an example. Let's say you've got it's time to turn in your spelling packet, and you notice you can't find your spelling packet anywhere, and so you're blinking excessively because you are trying to remember back, where did I last put it? So I don't know if you've seen this of someone who's kind of frantic and trying to look for something, but their eyes are blinking pretty frantically. All right, proximity, that's the second thing. So we've got negative proximity and we've got positive proximity. So the negative proximity, I can give you an example right here. So if you're talking to someone and you kind of step in a little bit, and if they step back, that means they're not feeling comfortable with you kind of stepping in. You're kind of in their bubble. So kind of get that indicator of like, hey, give them the space that they need. And then we've got positive proximity. If that person is in your bubble and it looks like that they feel pretty comfortable with you, and sometimes a little hand on the shoulder can indicate that they feel very comfortable with you. So if the closer they are to you, then that means that they feel really comfortable, which is a really good positive indicator that they like you. All right, and then we've got the head movements. So if someone's interested in your conversation, I kind of mentioned this during the cafeteria situation, but if they got their head slightly tilted and they're kind of nodding a little bit and following with what you are saying, that's kind of indicating, yes, I keep going, I'm understanding, and I'm liking what you were saying. And then there's another head movement, and that's if they're nodding super fast. That means, so for instance, if we're in a conversation and you're getting really excited about the topic and you really want to put in your 2 cents into the conversation, you're kind of waiting for that person to finish up what their comment is. So sometimes you're kind of like, okay, keep going, like, okay, finish up, and then you pounce on that and try to put in your 2 cents. So if you see that someone's kind of nodding their head super fast, that means that they want to get in their 2 cents. So kind of wrap it up. And then we've got the arms that we're going to talk about. So arms, if they are crossed, it's a sign of being defensive. Not always though, so you just got to read a little bit more into it. So you got to read the person's eyes a little bit and their facial expression, and also the situation. If they are accusing that person of someone and they start crossing their arms, it's a sign of just a defensive mechanism. This next one I do quite a bit. It's the self-soothing. I like to cross my arms. It's kind of like a self-hug. So it doesn't always mean that someone's on the defense. It sometimes means that it's just comfortable with them to cross their arms. I do this quite a bit in the movie theater. I like to cross my arms. It's just feels good. Self-hug. That's pretty much it. And then we've got the sign of dominance. That's the hands on the hips. A lot of teachers like to do this. They like to show that they're the boss. I got full confidence. Usually the person knows what they're doing if they got their hands on their hips. And then we've got the legs, so the pointing of the feet. Let's say you're talking to someone and you notice that their feet are pointing towards you. That's a good indicator that they're in the conversation and they're interested in what you're saying. But if they've got their feet turned somewhere else or towards someone else or somewhere else, then that's kind of an indicator that they're trying to get out of the conversation, or maybe they see someone that they'd rather go talk to and they kind of lost interest. So just kind of read into that a little bit more. And the last thing, we've got mirroring. Mirroring really comes in handy for job interviews and trying to get that person to like you. So mirroring is kind of copycatting the other person a little bit. So I've got an example here where this person looks like this person first has her arm and he's kind of doing the same thing. It's just trying to create a good rapport, and that's a really positive thing if you see that other person kind of copying a little bit of what you're doing. Another situation is you could be sitting down and crossing your legs, and that other person is also crossing their legs. That's a good positive indication. Okay. All right, and then, yeah, that was it. Let's go ahead and say those last 4 things. So our 4 body language cues that we just went over was the first one, study of the eyes. The second one is proximity, how far away you are from that person. Third one is the head movements. And the fourth one is the limbs, the legs, and the arms. Okay? And I really hope that this has given you the confidence to maybe nail those job interviews, or maybe try to get a person to like you and to be on your side. And that is it.